Coach, Ty Bothwell struggled a bit in the third inning of the first game, but then came back and was pretty solid in the fourth. What changed for him between those two innings?
To be honest, I'd have to look at the tape just to see. I thought he got a little bit squeezed early. He's a young kid, inexperienced and just kind of doing things for the first time. I thought he handled it well. Got himself into some trouble, really, and we did that all day. When we were in trouble today on the mound, it was mostly self-inflicted. So got himself into some trouble, probably game sped up a little bit, but was able to kind of get it corrected and give us a good start, give us a chance to win. Saved our bullpen big time for the second game.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, John.
So yesterday you guys win 2 games by a combined score of something like 15-4, and today you really had to scrap out a couple of wins. In that first game, you get down in a 5-1 hole. I haven't been in a hole like that yet. Kind of what was the mood in the dugout, and how do you think you guys were able to kind of push out of that and kind of flip the switch?
The mood was just chip away, just keep playing. Just control what we can control, keep putting together good at-bats. Grant Machaki's solo homer ended up being huge. They had a couple situations where, we thought maybe they'd go to the pin and they didn't. And just chip away, give ourselves a chance to win. We're within striking distance there by the end. And then obviously with what Grant did was just, what superstars do. It just won us a ball game.
Go ahead, John.
And also just the relievers that you had the past couple of days. Nathan Stahl had a huge situation with bases loaded, and Matt Litwicky, the same deal today. I mean, what have you seen kind of from your relief guys in terms of being able to, step up in pretty big moments?
Yeah, and I thought Connor did the same thing too in the fifth. Came in and got a big out for Ty. Those guys, we talk about it. I made this point in the meeting just a minute ago. The game is about dealing with pressure and being really good with 2 outs, both offensively and on the mound, being good with 2 outs, finishing innings offensively, using all 3 outs and making sure we were unbelievable with 2 outs today. We did a lot of our run scoring with 2 outs, and then handling pressure. We handled pressure situations. Those guys are preach that on a daily basis. So they did a great job. Those are roles that, those relievers are going to have to be good at. And we need to be better when the bullets are flying, and we have so far this year.
Carl, then last one for John.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about having Houston bunt there for the game-winning RBI?
Yeah, that was something that when they went to the pen kind of gave us a little bit of a chance to talk about it, and we got together and felt like, first pitch, element of surprise. It was the right move. We had a good runner at third base. And just felt good with the matchup. We thought potentially they would have pitched out, but we're just ready for it. And Houston executed, and he made some unbelievable plays defensively too. So, this weekend wasn't maybe us playing at our best, but it was everybody chipping in and just doing their job at a high level. And on all 3 phases, offensively, running the bases, and defensively, like we'll swing the bats better down the road, I'm sure, but. Everybody did their job, this weekend and played a big part in getting 4 wins.
All right, last one for John.
Also, Sam Morrison, he legged out that one that kind of helped obviously spark that inning. That's something I think they tell players back in, first grade, second grade, just always run it out. I mean, how big was that for him to kind of make that play?
Well, that's back to the pressure. We try to apply pressure with everything we do, and we try to handle pressure. And we had several. I think Drew Ashley beat one out the other day. We had a couple. I think Grant Richardson legged out a double play ball that scored us a run yesterday. Murison got it going today. Just the energy that those guys play with and the pressure that they apply force mistakes from their infield all week. So that's something that we do 1 through 9 and just really take pride in that.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we've got Grant Richardson here. Anybody has questions, please let me know in the chat or using the raise your hand feature. Carl and then John.
Grant, can you just kind of talk about that game-winning home run? What was going through your head, and just walk us through that at bat?
Honestly, I don't really know what was going through my head. I got started off first pitch, breaking ball, kind of did check swing, and I just kind of told myself to kind of just settle down. And then I got that pitch over the outside part of the plate that I was feeling really good the entire day of taking the ball the other way. And it just happened that I was able to kind of get under that ball and elevate it. And, it just happened to go out. So, it was a great feeling, and kind of made me feel like Matt Lloyd my freshman year when he walked it off against Minnesota.
John and then Ari.
Yeah, just in terms of that moment, you're rounding second base. There's already all your teammates are behind home plate, jumping up and down. You get there. I mean, just in terms of, last season being cut short and then having to wait all this time, is there kind of an additional excitement? I mean, when you reach the plate and you're actually be able to be a part of things like this again?
It was an out of body experience. I mean, after everything kind of happened, I was so lightheaded that I had to sit down, but seeing everybody, and I had no words for how I was feeling. It was just one of the best feelings I've had in a really long time. And after waiting so long, is that everybody's put in the amount of work that we're showing right now. It's finally paying off, and it's a great feeling at the end of the day.
Ari, go ahead.
Well, actually, my question kind of got taken. I was going to ask you about the Matt Lloyd thing. So instead, I'm going to ask you, how much does it feel to be the leader of the team, kind of, and pick them up, when they were struggling all day, to salvage the game with the walk-off home run, and how do you take that role, as being the guy who has to lead the team and hitting a lot of times?
I wouldn't say I have to lead the team the entire time. It was more so everybody kind of being able to do their job and, pass it off to one another. So, that opportunity of all that happening wouldn't have happened without Southern or Drew Ashley, getting the single to the other field. And, just being able to have my teammates kind of trust me in those kinds of situations is kind of what our culture has been, offensively and defensively. But, offensively it's really just been pass it off to the next guy and let him do his job. So I think that at the end of the day, it comes down to more than me just hitting the home run. It's more so my teammates giving me the opportunity to.
All right, John, and then we'll end up with Carl.
This is the first game, I think, probably all year. You guys have had a whole 5-1. Kind of what was the mood in the dugout, and what kind of really flipped the switch for you guys? I know obviously Grant Machachi had that one home run in the seventh, and you guys get a couple runs there. But kind of how did you guys really kind of flip the switch and make the comeback, do you feel like?
I think the energy in the dugout was great the entire weekend. I mean, even when we were down, no one was sitting on the bench pouting or anything. Everybody was up on the fence cheering, and we just had the chip away mentality where you don't have to score all the runs in one inning. We still have a whole ball game left, so it was more so just chip away and everybody stay on their feet. So just kind of having that mentality in the dugout was one of those feelings where it's like you don't feel like you're down 5-1 or anything like that. It's like you're right in that game, especially with the mentality that everyone was having.
All right, last one to Carl.
You've had a couple of tough days so far this season that you followed up with great days. What are you doing to adjust when a day doesn't go quite the way you want at the plate?
I just kind of tell myself that it's one day and it's baseball. I mean, there's nothing baseball is more, you're going to fail more times than succeed in baseball. So, I mean, you can't hold yourself on a previous day, especially going into a new one where, we have 2 more games today. So I can't be sitting there thinking about the last 2 games where what I was doing wrong or anything. And at the end of the day, I really just had to go out and compete and not have to think about anything, but rather just trust all the work that I've put in all off season.
All right. Thank you, Grant.
Thank you very much.